and welcome to the Sunny Saudade project. In this video, we are going to be telling you guys our 10 favorite dishes to have in the Algarve, and bonus, what places / restaurants to get them.
So Carlos is a native Algarvian, and when we first started going out, every time we'll go and visit, because he's a massive lover of food, as am I, he tried to get us to eat everything that we possibly could from the Algarve. And now that we are a few weeks away from moving back, we're getting very excited to eat all the things again, and we thought we'll take this opportunity, whilst we're all excited, to share with you our favourite food.
The Algarve has very much its own identity compared to the rest of Portugal. It has history with the Moors and with the Portuguese, giving it its very own food identity. Plus, with a huge coastline and plenty of sunshine, it is the best place for fresh seafood and vegetables, making it the perfect place for tasty grub.
So, dish number 1 is Cataplana Algarve. Cataplana is both the name for the dish and also refers to the big clamshell-like copper pot that is actually cooked in and served in. It's a pork and seafood stew with a bit of chorizo and a base of tomatoes, peppers and onions. It's a great dish for sharing with others, and you can also add a little bit of piri if you like a little bit of spice.
Very nice. Many restaurants have variations of the dish. They have meat version, fish version and a veggie version, and we've actually tried a vegan version which some restaurants have started doing. It is great to have with white wine or with some green wine because it's surprisingly a light dish considering how much rice and how much fish it has in there. The restaurant we recommend you having this is Alfonso Restaurante em Quarteira. It has a very friendly and chilled atmosphere. Number 2 on the list, we have one of my favorites, grilled sardines. Sardines are cooked on a traditional barbecue, and you can tell when they're ready when the skin is going nice and crispy. Sardines are usually served with a tomato and onion salad with bread to accompany. You then eat the sardines on the slice of bread, and after you've ate a couple of sardines, you then eat the leftover bread, which will have all of the oils from the sardines. It is mighty delicious.
It's the best bit.
The best bit indeed.
So sardines you can usually find most of the year round. However, we would strongly recommend looking for them between April and September. They're at their peak between July and August. If you do find them out of season, there's a good chance they are frozen. A great place to find good sardines is always going to be in a town that has a big fish market, such as Quarteira, and Olhão is really famous for them. One of our favourite restaurants is Restaurant Ria Formosa, which is in Olhão, and it's near the front, right near the market, so you know it's fresh. So, number 3 on our list is a classic Piri chicken, but it has to come from the town of Guia. Everywhere in Portugal would always tell you that Guia is the chicken capital.
Fun fact, there is even a chicken roundabout in the middle of town. You can't make this up.
Traditional Portuguese Piri chicken is very different from the stuff that you get over here. I'm looking at you, Nando's. So Piri has a long history. It comes from a mix of Angolan, Portuguese and South American culture. The sauce in Portugal is a much more simplified version, and you know what? It's pretty damn tasty.
It is a simple dish, but hard to cook to perfection. The chickens in Guia are a lot smaller, they are cooked on a traditional barbecue, and each restaurant has its own secret sauce. So, the restaurant Ramirez is said to be the best one to get your chicken. So go get your chicken now. For point number 4, we have another one of my favourite desserts. Olha a Bolas de Berlim!
So bola de Berlim is something that you don't actually really get in restaurants, but instead you will buy on the beach, and it's usually served by a bloke doing...
Olha a bola de Berlim! Olha a bola de Berlim!
It's a tradition that actually started in the Algarve. They come along and they have their own little songs, serve the lovely sort of donuts, I'll say is the closest thing.
Yeah.
They'll serve them from their baskets, and that has now spread to many beaches across Portugal.
If you're ever on a beach and you see a man with a basket, holler at him and he will serve you the Bolas de Berlim.
Bola de Berlim are small, sort of round-like donuts, and they come in either plain or filled with like a custardy cream.
It doesn't feel like a proper day at the beach if you don't have one, or more than one.
So, point number 5 is my personal favourite, Arroz de marisco.
I'm impressed. She's getting good. She's getting good.
Sorry, he was bursting it. Come up here.
Hold him.
Stop being a fussy butt. Come on.
Wilkes has to ruin our footage once again.
Again. No, don't break into it. Look, here they are.
Charlotte has become quite obsessed with the dish, just as Wilco is obsessed with his treats.
I would say the best way to describe arroz de marisco is it's like a weird blend between paella and like a seafood risotto. It's got like a tomato peppery base to it as well.
This dish is normally served in the pot straight out of the kitchen, and it changes texture depending how long it's been out.
The reason I say you've got to try this in the Algarve is because the prawns there are so big and delicious, and it makes for a really delicious dish. The Algarve do this dish very well.
Just like the Cataplana dish, you can also add some Piri for a bit of spice to it. The restaurant we recommend is called Tiku Tiku in the main town of Quarteira.
There is one that is on the seafront, which is actually a new one, but we'd recommend the one that's in the old town up near the church. So point number 6 is any grilled fresh fish. Head to any really good fishing town, such as Olhão, Faro, Quarteira. If they've got a good fish market, the chances are the restaurants there are going to have some really fresh, delicious fish.
Many fish restaurants have the fish on display, so eat what looks good, and I recommend having the catch of the day as well.
One thing I will say is have a good shop around. You know, any of these towns are going to have lots of restaurants that do these sort of things. So have a look around for good prices, fresh looking fish. Remember, the person who gets into the market early that day is going to have the best stuff. Because some of these fish are so huge, like sometimes this big, they're actually really good for sharing as well. I would recommend having them with either a mountain of chips or maybe some rice, bread. You can also get a little bit of side salad, and most importantly, a nice bottle of white wine to share between you.
Meaning Charlotte will drink most of it. The Algarve has a really big coastline, and you can normally see the boats fishing in the middle of the night. Fun story, my granddad used to tell my mum that the lights from the boats out at sea were actually the cities in Morocco. Quite cute, isn't it?
It's cute.
Charlotte, just for the fun, try and spell this name here.
Travles delicacies do Algarve.
That was quite good.
Sound like a school kid.
Tarte três delícias do Algarve.
This roughly translates to the 3 flavours or delicacies of the Algarve. It's made from carobs, almonds and figs, 3 of the most farmed things in the Algarve.
A sweet dish that is often found in glass cabinets in your traditional Portuguese restaurants.
Also known as tascas. So, carob is technically a type of bean or legume. It's kind of similar to the cacao sort of chocolate bean, but it's not as sweet. You grind it into like a flour, and that's what makes the base. After that, you'd usually have a layer of fig and then ground almonds.
Head to the back streets of Faro for the less touristy bits to try this dessert in any of their restaurants. Point number 8, we have Chouriço assado.
Also known as Chouriço assado. So this dish is a really fun one. I never knew existed and I highly recommend. It's great fun. It's about the experience. You basically get a dish which you fill with alcohol, set fire to it whilst the chorizo is sitting on top, and it sort of caramelises the edge and burns them, and it's really tasty.
The chorizo is cooked in a asadeira. Essentially, it's a boat-shaped terracotta dish with some rivets where the chorizo rests on top and allows the alcohol to cook through it. It's fire, it's fun, fried chorizo is always the one.
Oh, we've completely forgot to mention, it's usually a side dish or a starter, by the way. We got very excited about the fire.
We recommend the restaurant in Portimão, Casa de Petiscos, O Forno.
Number 9, Dos Finos do Algarve. These ones are very, very cute. These aren't necessarily a dish, they're more like a sweet snack that you'd often find in pastelerias.
Almonds are one of the most common produced nuts in the Algarve, therefore there will be lots of marzipan products available. These marzipan Algarvian delicacies come normally in the shape of fruits or animals. They are normally used as gifts and souvenirs.
They're very cute. Point number 10, my favourite, Sagres. Not super bock. So many of you should hopefully know what Sagres is. It is the beer of the Algarve and it's one of the top 2 beers from Portugal. The reason we put this on here is because it's made in the Algarve in the town of Sagres, which is in the very far west.
You can find it anywhere, in your beach bar, in your restaurant, in your local cafe.
We are not sponsored by Sagres, but by God I wish we were.
We love you, Sagres.
The reason we love Sagres so much is because it's got more flavour, more wheatiness than the other lagers that are available, and it's still really nice and light for you to drink, so it makes it great for being at the beach, you know, in the really hot weather of the Algarve.
Which is most of the time.
All the time.
All the time.
Another bonus about Sagres is if you head to the right parts of town, the not so touristy parts, you can usually buy a bottle for about €1 to €1.50. So there you have it, our top 10 dishes / foods to have in the Algarve. Don't forget, if you can't make it out there, a lot of these dishes have recipes online, so there's no excuse not to try them, you can make them at home. Also, just as a side note, there are so many dishes that we actually love in the Algarve, we just couldn't fit them on.
We also plan to make more cooking videos in the future and visit and film markets, restaurants and pastelerias once we are back in the Algarve. So stay tuned. So get out there and try your Algarvian Portuguese dishes. Beer as well. Let us know in the comments if there's any particular dish that we have left out and that you love. Let us know if you've tried any of these dishes and what you think about them. Maybe you know of a great restaurant. Let us know in the comments.
So leave a like and subscribe. Ring that notification bell if you want some more travel, food and Portuguese related content. Hopefully we'll be able to do a farm tour soon. If you're interested in Portuguese food, don't forget to take a look at our latest video where we make our own caldo verde.
Thanks for watching guys and see you soon.
Tchauzinho!